Qatar was given a list of 13 demands that it must meet within a 10-day deadline or else. That deadline was then extended by 48 hours by Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, the countries that have been blockading it for a month now. On Wednesday, their foreign ministers met in Cairo to announce what their next step would be after it became clear that Doha had rejected the demands, considering them an attempt at undermining Qatar's national sovereignty. The expectation was that further escalation would be announced. Instead, the apparently frustrated ministers said that any further action would be announced at a later stage.
We express regret to the negative response by Qatar and their complacency in reconsidering its policies, which is an indication of their failure to understand the gravity of the situation. The four states renewed their commitment to preserve and maintain good relations with the Arab states, including the Qatari people, hoping that reason would prevail and Qatar would take the right decision.
But the statements by the besieging countries were not ones of de-escalation. Saudi Arabia's foreign minister insisted that his country would continue to blockade Qatar until Doha complies with what Riyadh and its allies were demanding.
The embargo will continue to be in place until Qatar rectifies its policies. In respect to future measures, we are in constant communication and coordination. And we are states of sovereignty, and we have the right to take any measures in line with international law. We will continue to deliberate and take the right measures at the right time.
Earlier in the day, Qatar's foreign minister, speaking in London, described the month-long siege and the actions taken by the four nations as an insult to international law.
Qatar has never undermined the collective security of the region, as we believe that any threat to the region is a threat to Qatar. As the 48 hours extension is coming to an end, Qatar continues to call for dialogue despite the violations of international laws and regulation, despite the separation of 12,000 families, despite the siege that is a clear aggression and an insult to all international treaties, bodies and jurisdictions.
Kuwait, which has been leading the mediation efforts, will host Germany's foreign minister on Thursday. A United Nations delegation met with Kuwaiti officials on Wednesday evening in an apparent sign that more international involvement may be needed to resolve this crisis. A crisis that the UAE, Egypt, Saudi and Bahrain say is about financing terrorism, even though they appear to be more concerned about silencing free press and bringing Qatar's foreign policy in line with their own. Jamal Elshayyal, Jazeera, Doha.